live, going live, going live, I'm live! Ah. Well, I would have much rather liked to have been talking about Dungeons and Dragons or something, you know? Preferred something interesting. Maybe something not pandemic or not riot or not arson or vandalization or criminal negligence of like entire orders of like everything. So yeah, the world is burning. Riots everywhere, and yeah, been a hell of a week, hasn't it? There is some good news, and there is some good news is that, like, if you know, like, you see, like, in Flint, Michigan and other sort of things, like, oh, hey, Clayton. Clayton, is that Ref Clayton? Is that Ref Clayton I see on the chat there? That's probably Ref Clayton, I think. But, hey, hi, Ref Clayton. Yeah, gonna talk about just, you know, my random thoughts on this entire insanity that has come across the entire world, it seems, right now. But the riots. Yeah. Oh no, everything's fine, man. Everything's fine here. I'm perfectly fine. My job involves me teaching online, so I'm completely fine as far as as far as everything that goes. I'm still getting paid without having to leave the house. But but yeah, if anything has been certain, this has definitely shown us the complete inability of standards for a lot of police work. Because if you actually look up like the actual trust value, like the police are still at like 60 something percent, whatever. Same with, oh, there's a 30-second delay, of course. Uh, like, I still feel like a lot of people still kind of like the idea of believing in the police, so on and so forth. Like, if you look, like, military and police officers are kind of like the highest rank of like people that we trust. And that is the unfortunate aspect of whenever those organizations let in people that really should not have passed the testing. My favorite video of this, and by favorite I mean most disturbing, is where there's just a man just laying down, hands on the ground, spread apart, the whole thing you're supposed to do. Police officers like 50 yards away in the other direction with a gun going, get down, get down, get down. The man is already down. And then he shoots him anyway. And then when asked about it, the guy goes, I don't know why I shot him. I just did. Well, why would you do that then? And this is what the Black community and Black Lives Matters and all that have been trying to showcase for the past, 40 to 50 years, and it's just now with the advent of everyone having a cell phone with a camera that now all of a sudden it's been brought to light. So when people say, oh, this one incident was not the thing that sparked all these riots and whatnot. This is just the straw that broke the camel's back. It could have been someone shoving someone. It could have been someone just saying, something slightly derogatory. It could have been anything. This one incident is not the point. The point that's been made is this has been a issue for generations that has been ignored. And it's also a situation of, well, they tried to tell you this. They tried doing peaceful protests. I mean, the NFL taking a knee. No, don't take a knee. You're disrupting my game. Okay, some basketball players had a shirt that said, "I can't breathe, hands up." Like, no, no, don't do that, don't do that. We have this sort of bizarre, like, people in this country have this very big problem of, like, they don't care about something until it affects them. So you go protest, but don't ruin my football game about it. You go protest, but don't ruin my basketball game. You go protest over there where you're not even being recognized. Just go 500 bajillion miles in that direction where no one knows where you are, no one knows what you're protesting, no one knows anything, because then that's an effectful protest. It's a good protest when no one knows you're even protesting, right? Yeah, that doesn't make any lick of sense at all. I'm getting dinged up here. What am I dinged here? I literally have a message that has. This must be just a message to. Yeah, I literally have a message from Eric Trump being sent to my phone. This must be like a mass message thing that just got sent in. Please help my dad, re-election majority, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. so, so this is one of those situations where, like, why don't they peaceful protest? They did for generations, and you ignored them. So as much as I hate riots, as much as I hate all this violence that's happening, like, it shouldn't take, some guy with a hammer smashing through windows and then an entire crowd of thousands goes, yay, let's burn stuff. Like, that's not a really good solution to anything. But the fact that it gets to that, the fact that it has gotten to that point, means that there has been a colossal, rejection of reality for entire generations. So yeah, like, it's aggravating. It is aggravating, and while I hate all of this rioting and whatnot, and I even have friends that live in Wilmington, and apparently Wilmington's rioting now as well, and I had to check on him today and make sure he was okay. Thankfully, he's moving out of there, but while I hate all the rioting and hate all the rampant destruction and innocent civilians that are going to be hurt by all this, it's, to use a metaphor that I'm not quite sure is apt or not in this situation, the good cop, bad cop routine. It's like, well, do you want the riot or do you want to listen to the protesters? Which one do you want to do here? And it has shown, honestly, it has shown whose leadership is actually good and whose leadership is not. Because if you notice these things in, like, Flint, Michigan, where it's like the chief of police is marching with the protesters. The police are actually marching hand in hand going, yeah, we're fine with you. We're good. No violence happening at that point right now. And of course, you got other places in. I just got silenced. The distraction. Hold up. Let me just type something in. Can you hear me? Clayton, can you hear me? Feed went down. Oh, my feed went down. Well, it's still live, so I'm still gonna talk. So. No vid, no audio. Oh, it says I'm still live, so I'm still gonna talk. Yeah. Clayton is still showing us live. Yep. So I'm just gonna, I guess keep talking and see what the hell happens here. It'd be funny as hell if YouTube or someone decided to silence me. No, Clayton's reloading, see if it's just on his end. Do 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 do. Gonna reload. It's amazing when I actually put effort into videos and kind of did editing and thought all this stuff through and that really I noticed back when the internet really loves terrible videos. I hope I see the message drop to one, or the people drop to one. So I got one person. Maybe Clayton's back. I don't know. But yeah, the internet feeds off of negativity, and I just don't want to be the angry internet reviewer of wrestling or anything like that. I've seen the rabbit hole Spoonie went through. I've seen all that. No, I don't want that to be me. I don't. I like. But yeah. Hi, Clayton. I see your. Well, I saw someone was back. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But anyway, back to the point. He'll pop in if he pops in. But oh, Clayton has a smiley face. Clayton's back. Hi, Clayton. Someone else decided to leave, but you're back. So yeah, this is the good cop, bad cop thing, which, yeah, and then you see exactly what type of who is actually doing a good job and who's doing a bad job. Like, you have some areas where the police precincts are just marching with the protesters peacefully, and then you have other places where you see it, they just randomly arrested a guy that was clearly a CNN reporter and started shooting rubber bullets at the rubber bullets at the at the camera crew without telling them any reason why they were doing that. It's like you can tell who has the smart job and who has the dumb job. And it's like, okay, well, that was a terrible way to put it. You can tell who are the good police and the people who probably need retraining. They shot Valishi. I don't know who Valishi is, but yeah. They're also like shooting random people that are just sitting on their porch on their own property. It's like, they're not doing anything. They're sitting on their porch. So you can tell where there are some people that are actually like good cops and actually should be cops. Then there's people that shouldn't be cops. Okay, I don't watch MSNBC, so I don't know who that was, but I'm hoping rubber bullets. I'm hoping rubber bullets, Clayton. But I probably got his name wrong. Yeah, it's okay. I can't spell either. It's like a sign of a genius being completely intangible with writing. Yeah. So, and I say this because one of my cousins is a police officer as well, where I wouldn't necessarily trust him with being a police officer. Because there are people out there who, it's like how, the certain jobs you have are going to probably have a higher percentage of people that want to do that job for the wrong reasons. For example, if you're a pedophile, you're going to try to get a job that has you in contact with children. And thus, those jobs are aware of this and screen for that type of process. It's like, no. We don't want any pedophiles in this job. We have it bad enough that people will immediately assume, oh, look, a clown, it must be a pedophile. We already have enough problems with clowns, with people thinking that, we already had, freaking, serial murders dressing as clowns, We already have enough problems in the clown business. So they go and really strictly screen for that sort of stuff. Stuff like police officers and military is very attractive to the people that really like power. They don't necessarily like protecting, they just like power. They like, look at me, I'm the police officer, you have to answer to me because I'm authority. And that's not the reason why you should be a police officer. Because then you're just an asshole. and unfortunately, when you get those assholes in the police officers, is Well, then you get the jerk that kicks down a door, starts shooting up the place, and then goes, "Oh, we're in the wrong place. I feared for my life. I'm the police officer. Bye." And that doesn't do any precinct any good. And I don't necessarily know what their, actual policy is for weeding those people out, but clearly it's not enough. Or if they do have a process, well, then we have another problem of, maybe the mental health of the job. Maybe you need to be like firefighters, 4 days on, 2 weeks off, just to recharge the batteries and not get beaten down by the job and turn into a bad apple or get turned into, a paranoid shoot first, ask questions later. So, whatever the situation is, there needs to be some sort of way to just, more effectively weed this out, because that's the problem. The problem is when you have a society that feels that their police officers do not protect them. That's an issue. And because that's what it is. It's an entire society that's basically going, yeah, no, if I call the cops, I'm more likely to get shot by the cops than the cops actually helping me. That's a terrible thing to be living with. That's a terrible feeling of I'm on my own. The rules, the structures and rules in play that are designed specifically to protect me don't protect me. That's a terrible feeling to have. And, I'm just grateful that I was born white and don't have to deal with that problem, honestly. But yeah. So, I'm fine with that as far as that goes for me. I've never had a bad police officer encounter in my life, but I don't live in an area where, they've essentially militarized the police to the point where they're driving up in tanks and scaring the crap out of everyone. I've never had to be randomly patted down because, oh, you were just walking the sidewalk suspiciously. Well, what does that mean? Yeah. Oh, until I, as a white person, would be happy to be treated as others are in our society, we have to work to do. Yeah. There's a lot of work to do. And I honestly, and here's the thing, I don't really know what I feel like there's a catch-22 situation here, because if you got rid of all the people that just want to be a police officer for the wrong reasons, congratulations, you now have a precinct of 3 people, it seems, in some areas. It's like, okay, you're perpetually understaffed and overworked, or we let the guys in that just, want to beat people up for some reason. It's a tough thing to be in, and I don't know what the answer would be in that sort of situation. Now, honestly, I think also this sort of situation has kind of proven that a lot of power in this country is actually soft power, because when it came to the police precincts getting burned down, you think if there would be one thing the police would be able to protect beyond a shadow of a doubt, would be the police precincts. That's where all their weapons are. That's where all their staff is. That's where all their resources are. There's an entire, I don't know what it's designed like, but you would think most places, have a barrier. It's not just the building exposed on the roadside. Clearly, if an entire city were to just decide, yeah, no, we are policing ourselves now, this is now being owned by the blah, 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 blah family, and this street over here is being run by the blah, 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 blah gang, yeah, there's not really anything the police will actually be able to do about that. So, yeah. It's sort of the same thing of there's a lot of soft power that is getting shaken up right now, where it's the entire soft power of America with all our business deals and whatnot, and then magically, and we just break every treaty, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, by the way, I guess Europe is now dealing with China now instead of us. I guess Brazil is now shipping to China now instead of us, and It's like, oh, well, yeah, there went all our soft power. It was all just on paper. It what didn't actually exist. And I think that a lot of people are in for a rude awakening, going like, oh, by the way, by the time all this coronavirus stuff ends, everything will be back to normal. Everything will just jump right back up. No, it won't. No, it won't. Have you looked at any history? The Great Depression lasted for 4 years before the New Deal happened. There was 4 years of this. You guys haven't even lasted a couple months. Okay? Let's bring it down to reality here. Because this happens like every 100 years or so. But you know, when things get so bad for people, and let's be honest, there's the middle class has been chipped away, chipped away, chipped away. Small businesses has been chipped away, chipped away, chipped away. When the divide between like gigantic powers and then everyone else gets so low, eventually this is when all the rioting and all that happens. And there's one of two ways this goes. You go Nazi Germany, where it becomes authoritarian and goes, we're just going to attack the other. Or this is where suddenly giant unions happen and all this sort of like, that just goes, voink, we're going to even this back out a bit. And then it lasts for another 80 years until everything starts getting slowly chipped away again. So what's going to happen once this coronavirus thing finally ends is, well, we have the problem of none of the customers have money. Because, oh yeah, that $1,200. Oh boy, that lasted you 1 month of rent. So people are out of work, and are jobs going to come back to hire? Some will, but most won't. Why? Well, because their customers have no money. And if their customers have no money, their customers aren't buying anything. And if no one's buying anything, why are they going to hire more people? They're selling less, and now they're just adding an extra expense of hiring more people. So basically, the businesses are looking at it from an aspect of, well, now we're going to lose even more money because now we have more people on payroll and less people are buying things. So if suddenly you think the entire world economy is just going to skyrocket right back to where it was a year ago, it's not going to happen. It's going to be a slow rebuilding process. And yeah, so now we're in the situation of, well, gee, what do we do with this? If people need work, well, the government can just make jobs. There's an entire energy infrastructure. I mean, there's a grand total of 3 electrical grids in this country. One for the East Coast, one for the West Coast, and one for Texas. We might need a few more electrical grids, just saying. Might need some roads rebuilt or made wider and all that sort of fun stuff. Hey, Germany actually had enough solar energy that they were actually selling it off to neighboring countries because it actually exceeded the amount of electricity they used for that day. We could build a few, grids. We could build some more hydrodynamic dams or thermal dynamics, and hey, there was this one thing about off the coast of like Iceland or whatever, where they were going to build a hydraulic, basically like repurpose an oil rig that was out, and they're going to put hydraulics on it. So when the waves go up, it pushes it up, pushes it down, and that's going to be used as a generator. It'll take them 30 years to build it, but we could. We could start that process too. Someone has to build it. Someone has to maintain it. Someone has to design it. Someone has to, staff it. Someone has to, work it. Someone has to, clean it. Someone has to do all the other things. There's plenty of things you can do with all these different installations and processes. And then, oh, gee, look at that. Everyone's back to work then. But now, of course, the thing that everyone's going to yell then is, wait, you're telling me that the government is now just mandating jobs? Communism! Okay. So that's going to be the resistance that everyone's going to get to it. And yeah, so the world is burning. Everything like all that's happening, and I guess I'm part of that professional managerial class where right now none of it affects me because I can do my job online. So I'm not even seeing a brunt of it. So yeah, I don't know what I want to talk about instead here because this is kind of depressing. I don't know. Hopefully we had at least enough of like a, I don't know. I got some of that off my chest at least, I guess. And it seems sort of weird, especially because like, talk about politics and whatnot, because everyone's like, it's like, oh, you don't want to say that because then you're gonna insult your customers or whatnot. And it's like, oh, how's it gonna be? Because it's like, it just seems weird, especially when it's like when you can tell like certain people that you work with probably have a different view than you. You don't want to just say something because it's like, yeah, you don't want to cause issues. But yeah, it's like that. So so Clayton, since you're here, I've been binge watching Dungeons and Dragons videos the past couple of days. Yeah, it's your family, dude. Yeah, mine too. I literally get text messages from family members about oh, like did you hear about this? Uh, uh, did you hear about how these microchips that Bill Gates is going to implant on you that track your every move? It's like, why? That's not how. No, you cannot inject a microchip via a vaccine. No, that's not how technology works. That's not how 5G works. 5G is actually less radio strength than your television. Like, you're not going to be poisoned by it. You're not going to. I teach technology. Trust me, I know this shit. And it's like, you mean you're going to be tracked by every single thing in the world? You mean like Google or your cell phone? Yeah, you have a walking computer with you that, tracks your location and all your apps and everything you do. It's metadata. Metadata is literally data about data. It's like, why would Bill Gates need to, inject a microchip to you inside you? Bill Gates already has all your information if he really wanted to use it. But yeah, people that apparently just watch Hollywood movies and think that's an accurate representation of technology. So yeah, no, not the cartoons. I never watched the Dungeons and Dragons cartoons. I've actually been watching a lot of Spoonie's Counter Monkey videos lately, which are just tales of Dungeons and Dragons, and really, it's sort of it kind of is like, yeah, yeah, and he's the one that's been warning about the pandemic since 2014. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of people. It's one of those. Actually, I'm going to mention this as far as like our culture. Yeah, yeah, they are. I've noticed just because I have a collection of novels and I have a bunch of free time to just read all of them. Uh, our society greatly differs from British society as far as who our heroes are. Heroes in British society, and I'm going to count Jules Verne in this as well, even though he's French and whatnot. But basically, all of classical literature is the heroes are the experts. It's a scientist. It's Sherlock Holmes. It's the detective. It's a group of explorers that have been conditioned and designed and spent their lives' work trying to do this. That's the heroes. You know, in our society, it's the heroes are the everyman, and the guy that gets foiled is the know-it-all scientist that's clearly wrong, like the movie Armageddon. The scientists trying to stop the asteroid from hitting Earth are going, hey, let's have a sail and gravitational pull it away. which is actually an actual NASA plan to, you know, get rid of an asteroid that's coming towards us. Send a probe out, the gravitational pull will slightly over time move it, millimeters at a time. So, over the course of 50 years, it will miss, which is, the actual safe solution to an asteroid attack. How does the movie play it off? Bah, you guys and your egg-headed plans, and no one understands this. Let's just blow it up with a nuke. And they get the everyman to blow it up with a nuke, which would actually cause much more damage because now instead of having one asteroid, you now have thousands of asteroids raining down, which is, but that's the point. But the point is, it's the scientist that's always wrong, and it's the everyman that saves the day. And this is where you get this sort of situation where it's like, I don't care what scientists say, even though, 97.3% or whatever agree with this theory. Oh, they all must be wrong. It all must be some giant conspiracy theory because, in the movies, it's a giant conspiracy theory when the scientists get together. They're purposely trying to create a robot dinosaur alien thing to conquer the world because that's what scientists do, apparently. And the only scientists that we like are the scientists in the Big Bang Theory because Sheldon clearly is high-functioning autistic, but in a funny way. As opposed to being high-functioning autistic in a non-funny way. So yeah. It was Bruce frickin' Willis. Yes, it was Bruce frickin' Willis. But yeah, so we need Ghostbusters, Smart Snark. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, going back to Dungeons and Dragons here, just because screw it, I'm now talking about I'm now talking with a friend through chat that's a minute behind, so that I haven't seen in years. Yeah, I've come to I pretty much I think I've come to the conclusion that I just hate combat. I just hate combat in Dungeons and Dragons because I always I think things through in combat is the last resort because I don't want to play the person that what do? I swing a sword at it because I'm the frickin' fighter. Oh look, I rolled a dice. Yup, I hit it. Whack, I did this much damage. It's boring. It's I stand there and I hit things and we keep hitting things back and forth until one of us dies. It's like, I hate combat. And I hate that every single dungeon is combat. Walk into a room, here's 700 enemies. Clean the room up. Okay, I guess we're resting. Next session. Walk into the room. Oh, look, another thing of combat. Either that or it's a trap. It's like, oh, you walk into the kitchen. What do we find? Well, there's a pressure plate that will launch you up into a pile of spikes because, of course, that's how a kitchen works. It's like, oh, what do you find? Oh, look, there's a chest there. Let me guess, it's cursed because everything's cursed. Everything is either trapped, cursed, or filled with monsters. Yeah, I got Discord. I have to re-download Discord. Yeah, I'll definitely join into one of the streams. I've got plenty of time now for that. Here's the character I like to play. I like to play, and here's the thing. I know I'm kind of a newbie, but I like playing as wizards. I like playing the character where it's I can actually kind of do something else besides hit something. It's at one point I played a dark elf necromancer, which and I had to spell darkness. A complete 30. Oh no, I mean I'll call you now and get your straight. Okay, I would have to re-download Discord. Let me just do the little search thing. Do I have Discord right now? No, I technically don't have Discord. I'll have to re-download it. We gotta have this conversation live. Oh, I do have Discord. Okay, let me open this up here. Oh, nah, do the website. Okay. Okay, I'll do the website. One moment. Let me go in here. Discord. Guess I should probably, yeah, once this pops in, I'll start talking Dungeons and Dragons with you in a moment. Discord chat for community friends. Easy way to chat. You are now on Discord. Log in. Oh, great, now I have to figure out what my Discord is. Okay, I'm going to assume it's that email. Nope, don't save that. Never save a password. I am not a robot. New login detected. Please check your email. That's what I figured was going to happen. Darn it. Let's try that. I am not a robot. Boop, boop. Email does not exist. Okay. I am not a robot. New login detected. Please check your email. Boop, 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 boop. Looks like someone tried to. We highly recommend you set up a two-factor. If this is you, follow the link to authorize logging in from this location on your account. Verify login. IP address authorized. Yay. Login. Okay, cool. I have a. Okay, cool. I am now on Discord. So, boop, 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 boop. If you got it, I invite. Oh, geez, this is my old group. Oh boy. Oh no, 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 no. How do I delete myself out of this group? Leave server. Yes, leave that server. That is the X. That is the horror story I was actually going to talk about on stream. Whew. Okay. Friends. So, I guess Clayton, what is your, I guess, find or start conversation? Clayton, search, I guess? Search for journals, channels, DMs, okay. I'm like, I need to add a friend. I need to add a friend here. The system-wide push to talk. I'm not going to download that yet. Add friend. Friend. Search new DM group. Okay, yeah. I have no idea how to use Discord. Hold up. Let me and paste that in. I just copy and pasted what I'm pretty sure is my username. So, Clayton, go and friend me on that one. Getting messages from all the wrestling stuff now, too. Didn't know wrestlers could be so chatty. Oh, I got someone popping in. Hello. I don't have a microwave. Pandy does. It's downstairs. So. So Clayton, if you see that, if you just let me know, and see if that was the right thing I need to do, because add a server, explore sub, download app, friends online, all pending, blocked. How do I add a friend? Enter a username. Oh, I can send a friend with their Discord tag. Okay. So if you send your Discord tag, I could probably copy and send a friend request to you. I'm pretty sure that was my tag right there, Clayton. Oh, and that is Ellie barking at Elias because he knocked on the door downstairs, too. Hope he realizes he can have his pasta cold. He does not have to microwave it. Invite us for my server. Boop, 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 boop. Well, if Clayton is still here, I'll just continue on with my little story. So basically, I had this brilliant idea. I'm just gonna use darkness. Oh, where have I been? Where have I been? I've just been kind of not. I really didn't want to like make a video for like every single, wrestling thing ever. Because I really do feel like the internet really does breed a lot of negativity. And, I could do the whole gimmick of being the angry internet reviewer, but that's kind of it. And that's it. But that's it. Like, it was kind of just, how like when you pretend to be something enough times, you start to become it. It's like, yeah, I didn't want to do that. And then, of course, once Spoonie went completely down the rabbit hole, it's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to have that become myself as well. And I see, where you been? Please don't. Okay, well, I'm not actually like, Fool Killer complains about everything. Oh God, Fool Killer's still around, huh? Yeah, it was me, Fool Killer, Moral Virus, and Truth Slayer, I believe, right? Well, Truth Slayer, I think, is like married now and only does the rare video with his kid. Moral Virus, I don't think I've heard forever, and I didn't know Fool Killer still did stuff. Like, I kind of unsubscribed to that entire internet wrestling thing, because we were all completely full of crap. Actually going into the business kind of opened up my eyes on a lot of stuff I was completely wrong about. But so Fool Killer fell down the rabbit hole of buying into his own hype and just, yeah, that's the problem with internet critics. We suddenly like think like, oh, we're mildly famous with 1,000 people watching us or something. Yay! People like my opinion matters. My job is now to just spout my opinion on everything. No, there's a category of people. Oh, I got a pending friend request. Pending friend request. Killeroo! Yay! Accepting friend request. Woohoo! I'm now friends with Clayton on Discord. Woo! That's good. That's right. His name is Killeroo. Forgot about that. Forgot about that username. That's funny. But yeah, so yeah, that was. And then of course it's the whole situation of pretending to be angry and pretending to be something. Eventually, it kind of happens. It's the whole how complete crackpot conspiracy theories wind up spreading. It's like some guy just makes something up. I believe the world is really ruled by sentient staplers, and they say something funny and stupid like that. And then some other people go, that's funny, and they start retweeting it or whatever. The rules, and then eventually, when enough people start being funny about it, some other people actually start going, wait a minute, why are all these people saying the world is ruled by sentient staplers? Let me Google this. Oh, there's a lot of people like that have mentioned this. And then they start actually believing it. So I found that a lot of my YouTube content was so negative, I was becoming a very unhappy person. And I did not want to be that. So, whereas Spoonie is wallowing in self-pity and refusing to do anything with his life and using his bipolar as a crutch, and I guess Fool Killer is complaining about everything for something, I decided I wasn't going to do that. So, so yeah. Um, but yeah, I get yeah, nothing wrong with opinions, but when you're being a bitch to moan about every single thing and still watching, yeah. Yeah, like I've honestly, here's the sad part, I've pretty much given up on like watching wrestling, period. Mainly because wait, I'm complaining about what? No, you're not complaining about anything, Clayton. You're not complaining about anything. No, Clayton, you're fine. We were talking about Spoonie and Fool Killer and whatnot. We were talking about the glory age of 10 years ago of the internet. Look at Jim Cornette. Yeah, well, Jim Cornette at least does it in a very funny way and makes money off of it. Honestly, I kind of like having that. That is the one thing wrestling related I will watch. Jim Cornette's podcasts, and by watch I mean listen, mainly just because I have like a betting pool with myself trying to bet what Jim Cornette is going to think about certain segments. I was pretty good at getting it right. And then for the last AEW pay-per-view, I was wrong by a mile. I'm like, okay, he's gonna hate the rejuvenating lake. He's gonna hate Matt Hardy changing gimmicks. He's gonna hate that. But I thought, the rest of that brawl was nothing really ridiculous. A guy climbs something big and jumps off it. Okay, a guy suplexes someone across the field. Okay, 5 feet per suplex. That's 20 suplexes. We've seen spots of 10 suplexes in a row. 20 is reasonable. It's not like we saw it all in one take either, but okay, how did Hangman get a horse? He's the Hangman. He's a cowboy. He had a horse. Okay, nothing in there was so ridiculous you couldn't hand wave it away with logic of the characters, except for the Lake of Rejuvenation. I thought he was going to go on the Lake of Rejuvenation ruined the entire thing because that means now everything's fake. He did say that, but he also called everything else blatantly fake too, and I'm just... So now I'd have to rewatch it and go why does he think that? Because I normally find that a lot of my views really are in line with Jim Cornette when it comes to wrestling. So when there's a big disparity, I have to go okay, now why is he thinking this? So there's that. So I'm going to have to eventually at some point rewatch it because I thought it was better than the Money in the Bank thing. Honestly, I thought it was kind of even better than, the Graveyard match because, druids and lightning and all that. but yeah, it never made sense, Undertaker shooting lightning bolts. It never made sense, any of the paranormal stuff in anything involving wrestling, but that's just me. My main complaint with AEW, and really honestly every wrestling promotion right now, is every match is 30 minutes long. Good God, just save something for a rematch. Here's my rules that I want. Oh, you got 8 matches on the card? Good. None of them are going over 12 minutes. Cut something. Save something for next match. There's only so many times I can see someone get Tiger Driver 98 through a flaming table of thumbtacks before I go, I've seen it. It's leave something on the table for people to do next time. But yeah, even the Jungle Boy MJF match, where it's once they did the Poison Rana on the apron, end the match. End the match right there. You're done. Here's the finish. Jungle Boy, being the babyface, tries to throw MJF into the ring. He gets him in at 9, and then the ref counts 10. Ding, ding, ding. MJF wins by countout. MJF gets the claim he's, still undefeated, and, Jungle Boy can still get his heat or whatever or whatnot, and it's a fluky finish and whatever, but they can have a match next time at the next pay-per-view to finally settle the score. Yeah, there's a difference between critical critique of all right, and both personal attacks. Oh yeah, that's just Cornette. Cornette finds the most flavorful way to get immediate cheap heel heat on people. Yeah. so yeah, that's just Cornette, and I'm honestly, it comes with the territory. It's like, am I surprised that they got really angry about his motor scooter through Ethiopia with a bucket of fried chicken joke? No. Am I surprised that Jim Cornette said it? No. I mean, here's the catch-22. Jim Cornette was clearly the most over person in the NWA at the time. So right when he left, half the audience left. So you're in the situation of, well, we need Jim Cornette for ratings. But we know that Jim Cornette is going to say some stuff that might have flew, and that might have, been okay in the Deep South in the 80s. But we're going to get in a lot of trouble, so we, kind of have to keep censoring every single thing he says. Which will lead to a very pissed off Jim Cornette and him exploding. So you either have to take the bad, or just have to deal with the fact that, well, I guess we're not having half our audience. So, yeah, it's kind of bad. But outside of that, the match time was the one thing I really loved about the NWA. There was no match that went over 5 minutes. Aaron Stevens did nothing but say no, get rolled up, and then keep saying no, and had an entire crowd livid and arguing back at him for 10 minutes straight, doing nothing but saying no, 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 no. Go behind curtain, peek back behind curtain. No. The man has done nothing and has the entire crowd on their feet, yelling back at him, audience participation. Holy shit, that was great. That was the tool to look at when I wanted to steal or copy shit for my character or my gimmicks or whatever. It's holy, here's Disco Dave with a piece of paper going, that's what they did here. Let's try to incorporate it in my next match. Here's what this heel did. Let's try to incorporate this with, with a heel character persona. If I'm ever, okay, cool, let's do that. Let's try it out. Let's see if it works. That was a good thing of oh, so that's how you do a 3-minute match of working the arm. Oh, so that's how you do a 7-minute match of working the leg. Oh, that's how you do this without, oh, can you do a live stream? I would like to catch up with you, but I have to go. Well, it is live, isn't it? It says live on my end. See, YouTube has changed so much, I don't know what the heck all this stuff is. But I would like to catch up with you, but I have to go. You have to get enough time, more people watching and asking questions. Yeah. I guess, I don't know, set a schedule for this for a Q&A or something? But with time, yeah, with time. How do I do that? Is there a time delayed setting that I'm screwing up or something? I'll have to look through all this, but yeah, I have to catch up with some people. And by the way, I know I have to jump down at some point. I've been talking for an hour already, and this video has completely derailed from what its original topic subject was. So I guess looking back through this at some point, people are going to be going, wait a minute, what the? He was talking about some very serious and depressing stuff, and now he's joking around with his chat for 30 minutes on end. He's joking around with 3 people in the audience. Woo! Yeah, I guess I'll have to I don't know, I guess set a schedule or something? I don't know, how do I do that? I guess I make an announcement or message or saying like, "Hey, at this time, I'm going to have a live Q&A or something." Yeah, yeah, I guess I will. So, see you, Gabe. Glad that you had fun, but yeah, I'll make an announcement. I'll have to do that. Have to figure out how to do that. I'm sure it's an option that I just skip because I'm going click, 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 click to do this. So yeah, I guess I'll make an announcement for a live stream. I guess later this week. So see you, Gabe. Have fun. Have a great day. I guess I should probably sign off and actually join Clayton on Discord to talk D&D with them now, because because something tells me I'm getting wrangled into a campaign at some point. uh, let's see here. Later. Bye bye. Have fun. Oh, you got to bounce too, Clayton? Well, then I'll just message you later on Discord some other time. Have fun. Bye. Bye, everyone. You want sure you want to end stream? Yes, I want to end stream.